I listened attentively to the presentation you have made. You know, I'm one person who is very passionate about solid minerals, because I hold the strong view that your sector is a sector that could help to improve the economy of our country and create jobs for hundreds of thousands of young graduates who have no job. Now, I want to commend the effort you have made talking about your IGR and the little increase in allocation to solid minerals. I particularly believe that the completion of and the development of solid minerals, iron and steel complex, is so fundamental to our economic survival as a nation. Now, the whole budget of your ministry is probably less than what some agencies have as their budget. I'm telling you, at least, you know, I belong to about 12 committees, and I look at budgets and I look at solid minerals. And at times I wonder if the economy team of our government, our president, actually hold the same vision of President Muhammadu Buhari. Because to me, budget must essentially be for wealth creation, more so in the global economic recession that we are in today. There are nations of the world that do not even have stones, that they import stones. We have everything here. But I don't know what is wrong with the economic team of this government, as whether they're actually Nigerians or they're foreigners. Because common sense, I don't have to be an economist, common sense dictates to me that when you have a serious economic problem emanating from global economic recession, and you have a large army of unemployed youths capable of carrying out a revolution, and you are not looking at how you're going to engage them. You know why this budget session is very important? One of your colleagues, whom, if I'm president today, I will have sacked them, the two of them, this morning. They came to the National Assembly with a budget proposal of buying mosquito nets for 82 billion. You see, you're a member of the cabinet. You don't have to sit down when some people are trying to cause problems for our nation. When your ministry, your sector, which is key to our economic survival, is talking about 10 billion, and somebody in his right senses, who says a professional, a minister, is coming with a proposal of buying net, mosquito net, where we grew up in this country, and mosquito has not killed everybody here. Now, it's simply corruption. There's no other way to put it. Now, if solid mineral, when our government was campaigning, part of what we promised was to complete iron and steel complex that will have employed over 20 to 30,000 people. Now, iron and steel complex lie fallow now. And we are here talking about budget. And somebody will tell me that we should approve 82 billion to buy mosquito net. Some people should be sent to jail. Simply put, you can't explain it. Do you know what Nigerians are passing through? There are people, those of you who have not been elected, you are lucky. Ask those who have been elected with the pressure of our people at home. There are no jobs, people are roaming the streets. Instead of us to face solid minerals, to pump in money there, to create jobs and encourage the younger ones, to help us to liberate ourselves out of problems, economic problems, we are coming now, we are saying 10 billion is, you are thanking God for that. What is 10 billion to some agencies? Now, what is 10 billion? When you talk about completing the project that will change the face of the world, a stanza of our national anthem says, the labor of our hero past shall not be. Iron and steel complex was conceived by some people in time past. And that thing is still lying fallow. Today, African countries are importing steel from India. African market alone is enough to create over 50,000 jobs for Nigerians. Now, because you are equally a minister, and I'm taking this to the Senate Committee on Appropriation, that we must look at how to help this government. Because, yes, we are building infrastructures, but building infrastructure is not as good as when you create wealth. Creation of wealth must be the foundation of any budget. So, Mr. Minister, what I'm trying to tell you in essence is that I do not think there's anything to celebrate in 10 billion for solid minerals, personally. Even 30 billion, it's not the issue. We are talking about how we can employ people and create jobs for Nigerians. If there's any problem confronting us today, it's job creation. And we left all those, this is the most important sector apart from oil that we can use, not only improving our foreign exchange earnings, but create job opportunities and avoiding crisis in the future. Even now, we are faced with crisis. So I think that Iron and Steel Complex is something that all of you must pay serious attention to. I don't know what is happening because you people are in the cabinet. It is what you bring here that we see. But for me, if I'm a minister in solid mineral and Iron and Steel Complex is not getting what it should get, I will resign. I'm telling you. I will resign. Because if that sector will be left again till another 4 years, it is just inexplicable. All the loans we are collecting in this country, I was thinking that those loans will be channeled towards Iron and Steel Complex. That will have created about 40 to 50,000 workers, workforce. And you people should not keep quiet. Now, it gladdens my heart when you talk about setting up of processing plants in geopolitical zone. That of Kogi, I'm not aware of it. I don't know whether it's set up or it's just on paper. I don't know where that one is. We want to know about it because, see, we have a responsibility not just to our nation, but to our God. That this job we are doing it from the depth of our heart. Because my Bible tells me that every one of us will give account of ourselves to God. We are not saying we are not saying it because we want to please anybody. This is why we are here. We are here because we want this country to be better. Not all of us came here because we have no job or we have nothing to do. We want to see how we can help and speak the truth and speak truth to the power that be, so that this country can be better for all of us. We cannot pretend that all is well. There are no jobs, people are out of school, they are roaming the streets, and yet you see Nigerians traveling 3 times a week abroad. I have not left Nigeria in the last 7 years to Europe or to America. It's not as I don't have money. I have not traveled. I have the money to travel, but it's waste of resources. You see people galvanizing Nigeria. They take money every week. They go abroad. Not for any reason, just to waste our foreign reserve. Because when people have stolen so much money in this country, I have not left Nigeria in the last 7 years. I have money to travel, but I look at it from a very different point of view. And you see people, ministers, members of nationals, people just galvanize, waste money, and people are dying in this country. And we will not see that, we will not speak the truth to our country. The country is bleeding. And the better for all of us to rise to save this country, or else it will consume all of us. I'm telling you, you cannot explain why you will not put enough money in solid mineral. What is 10 billion naira? What is 30 billion to solid mineral? And the minister is asking for 82 billion to buy net, mosquito. Let mosquito kill all of us then. Let the people survive, let them live. Let mosquito kill all of us. For me, gentlemen, it is for all of us to speak the truth. This budget, to me, is not satisfactory to me. And I will tell the chairman, let him come to committee on appropriation and present a special case for solid mineral. Because in every budget I have seen, I see areas of waste, deliberate wastage of resources. I see them. I belong to about 10 to 12 committees. So I take my time, I want to see what is happening there. I hold the view that we have enough money to even develop Iron and Steel, to complete Iron and Steel Complex. But all this wastage I'm seeing about. If 1 minister is talking about 82 billion for net, then you can have an idea what happened to other people. In many ministries, you have inexplicable proposals for projects that will not come to fruition. People put money in professional fees, legal fees, consultancy, just to siphon money. And when you come here and you are challenging ministers, some people will be giving you name here. Because there's a total misconception that everybody here is here to steal money. Not everybody, please. There are people here who are patriotic and who are ready to stake their life for Nigeria. In the national I've seen many people like that. So this is not what we want to see. Let us address your problem holistically. Let us look at those key areas that you need money. Let us look at them. Let us see how we can make Iron and Steel solid mineral. To become a sector everybody, the younger ones, want to go into. This is one sector that can give us foreign exchange earnings. So why are we treating it with levity? Is it because the privileged people are comfortable? You don't know that people are dying, people are suffering. 10,000, 5,000 naira, 2,000. So people will jump up to thank you for 2,000 naira. Because people are in poverty and they're in penury. And we cannot pretend that all is well with our nation. You as a minister, you have a duty to raise this and speak. If you have to resign, let it be said that you stood for your country. It is better. Some of us speak the truth here. We know the consequences of speaking truth in Nigeria. But we chose to speak the truth. You better stand for your country. If your colleague is asking for 82 billion to buy net, then you need how much to finish Ayonu State Complex? Why will you keep quiet? Why will you keep quiet as ministers? Why would you pretend that it's not an issue? It's an issue to you. Because the future of Nigeria lies on the head of every one of us. Assalamu alaikum. I'm overwhelmed with your presentation. We're on the same page. Of course, I can vouch for you. You know, we knew each other over 20 years now, if not more than. So we knew each other for a long time. Now, let me just say that, you see, our position is very simple. For those of you in the solid minerals, you can help to join us in taking a position. If the federal government is finding it difficult to get involved in development of solid minerals, for instance, in my state, my governor will be very happy to take over Ayonu State Complex. If you are going to, you are finding it difficult, hand over those things to our state government. We'll develop it and we pay remittances, royalty to the federal government. I'm sure until recent, Nigerians never knew that Zamfara is a state that is blessed with gold. Look at what is coming out from Zamfara. So if the government is finding it difficult, allow the state government to take over. My governor will be very happy to take over Ayonu State Complex. We'll go ahead to develop it. All these bottlenecks you see, you know, people hide under the fact that the federal government has a lot of money. You know, so people can easily come and find a way of siphoning money through litigations. These litigations are not things that can work if you give it to the state government. I don't know of anybody who will leave either Europe or any part of Nigeria, and you come to Ayonu State Complex and you say that our people should not work there. Then they will finish you there and continue to do the job because they're the owner of the land. But you see, when it comes to federal government property, it becomes the property of everybody. So Nigerians they don't show commitment. Who are the people who sold Ayonu State Complex? I was here in 2007, a committee on privatization. We went to Ayonu State Complex. It was sold for $300 million or so. And we tried to investigate it. Up to today, we didn't get the receipt and how that money was paid. It was garbage in, garbage out to settle some people. I don't want to mention names. But we knew all those people who perpetrated corruption and accusation of Ayonu State Complex. Then they now went to international court and tried to halt the development of Ayonu State Complex. All these litigation they're talking about, let the EFCC investigate those who are behind it. I give the EFCC the task. It is not about the foreign nationals. It's about our people, Nigerians, who use the foreign nationals and hide under them and be pushing them to store them. Let EFCC commence investigation. They will get to unravel those who are behind it. This is a serious thing because Ayonu State Complex can employ over 50,000 people. Take 50,000 people out of the labor market today. So for me, we are on the same page with you, and the chairman will do the needful. Our is to give support to the chairman. We'll go to appropriation, we'll go and make a case, and I'm sure we can get something out. You know, if we have nowhere to take money, since a ministry has budgeted 82 billion for net, we can take that 82 billion and put it in Ayonu State Complex. It's not difficult. Already a ministry, honorable minister, already one of your colleagues, he budgeted 82 billion for net. We have stopped it. We can take the 82 and use the create job and create wealth for Nigeria. That's what we should do. So I submit, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.